Hey guys, welcome back. It's Jack from CruiseCasinoMafia.com. I don't know. I saw something, sometimes you see a system that somebody's showing a demo of. It's not really something that's normally in your wheelhouse, but it's intriguing nevertheless. Does that mean that it's a good system, a bad system? It doesn't mean either of those things, but I have to, watch, evaluate, and test so many things for our private members of Cruise Casino Mafia, as well as some of I can't get into it publicly, I don't really talk about it much here, but some of the pro teams that we have playing out there as well. If you want to learn more about what that story is, you have to be a member of Cruise Casino Mafia. I saw this. Let me show you where I saw it. Let's make life easy. So this is the Roulette Master channel. It's the second system here, which is where he does his new system of the day most of the time. And it's a double street system. I'll put the link, if I remember, in the description. And it's it's 5 double streets, which is nothing new. We've seen things like that. But what is unique about it is the fact that it has a really interesting money management. Now, people have pointed out to me that you have to get a lot of wins to be able to make up for the loss. But you should be getting a decent amount of wins with 5 double streets anyway. So I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. What I will tell you is a lot of people are going to dismiss this because there was a terrible run of numbers in his demo that he did. And yet, even with that terrible number, the numbers that came out, it still finished with a win. So that says to me there's something here, because I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think that the numbers that came up were not great. But even with that happening, I think he was up about $100 at one point, very quickly before the bad set of numbers. So the point is, if you have a tight profit target, how often with a normal run of numbers would you be off the table quick enough that you would only see that negative run that you have to work your way through? All right, so bear with me with this. There's a little wonky math, and I don't want to screw it up, so I'm not going to go fast on this video. And what we're going to do for purposes of ease is we're just going to use dollar chips. He used $5 chips. So with dollar chips, I think it's about a $200 bankroll, something like that. So let's just go through this slowly, just because I'm curious about this. And let's see, that's 3, that's 4, and that's going to be 5 double streets. All right. So let's see how this works out. All right, so that's an 18. We know that's going to be a win because it's in the middle, right? So we're up a unit now. Forget about the dollars. We're only interested in the units. Let's rebet. And we don't do anything until there's a loss. Okay, there's the loss. All right. So the way that this thing works is you're going to go up a unit on a win or a loss. Okay, a win or a loss until you get 4 in a row wins. So you have to count, you have to keep track of this. And it restarts if you have a loss while you're in the recovery phase. So let's see how this thing works out. So there's the extra unit. That's 1 win, right? Rebet. That is a loss again. Okay, here we go. Right away. So we're going to have to go up a unit. And, well, we're always going to go up a unit. Oh, you know what? I already screwed this up. In the recovery phase, we go up a unit. How many units do we have there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, I already made a mistake. Well, actually, that was the first one, so I don't think I did make a mistake. In the recovery phase, you're going up a unit whether you have a win or a loss. So I may have made a mistake, I may have not. So again, when you're in the recovery phase, you're going up a unit on a win or a loss, and you're looking for 4 consecutive wins, and then you have to figure out what to do from there, and we'll talk about it. So we reset now because that's a loss inside of the recovery. So I need 4 wins. Let's see how this thing plays out. Okay, that's going to be win number 1. And again, I don't know if I made a mistake on that thing before on the other one, but we have to go up a unit on a win or a loss. And if I make a mistake, guys, as long as I'm explaining it to you correctly. All right, so that was 1 win. That's going to be 2 wins. Let's go up the unit. We're at 2 wins. Okay, we're at 2 wins. We're at 3 wins. Okay. Rebet. Add the unit. Ah, shoot. All right. We're at 3. This is the pain in the ass with this thing, having to do it this way. All right, we're at 3 wins right now. We need a 4th win now. And we got it. All right, so let's see where we're at. All right, we're up 6 units. Normally, you go back 6 bets. Okay, 6 bets is where you go back. But taking us back 6 bets, because let's see how much we're betting here. I think it was $6, right? Yeah. So this is just, we're just going to go back to the base. But if you kept going up, you'd go back 6, okay? And then you'd have to win your 4 again, of course. So let's restart. All right, we're up our 6. Let's go back out there with our double streets. Sorry this is taking forever, but with this stupid simulator, unfortunately, I have to grab them. It's a pain in the neck. All right, so here you go. So let's do it again. 28, I think, is a win. So when you're back to the base and you're not in the recovery, you're not going up on a win. You're just staying where you're at. All right, that's a win. All right, let's keep going. All right, we're up 8 units now. So I want to be aware of that because I want you guys to understand if you are playing with bigger units like the $5 or the $10 units or whatever, that you wouldn't keep playing and playing and playing. There's no way in hell. So that's 8 units right now. So think of this as if it was $5. All right, so let's rebet because you know with roulette we don't think you should be playing for hours and hours. All right, I think that's a win also. So this is what I thought we would see. I thought we would see a lot of wins in a row before you got into trouble like he did on his video. So you're up 9 units right now. So again, playing something like this with tight profit targets is absolutely key. That's another win. All right, so there's your 10 units. you would be up $50 right now. If you were playing the $5 units that he was playing. So that would be my target right there. I would be done with that session. Now, playing multiple sessions a day, fine. It's up to you, whatever. All I'm saying is the $50 to $60 point, if you're playing with $5, I think would be where I would be somewhere stopping there. So let's keep going, just so we can get a feeling for this and see if we can get another loss. That's not a loss. This is what I thought you would see based on the odds. And his session did not... He ended up winning, but it was wild. There's 11 units. Let's keep going. There's another win. And again, if it was me, I would be looking at this, right? At the units made. We're up 12 units right now. And I'd also be looking for the number of hits in a row, because at some point, that's where you want to stop. We've had a bunch in a row that we've won, right? A bunch in a row. That is the radar. Your radar should be going off. That should be a session. But we'll keep playing for purposes of the demo. See, we're having a lot of wins in a row now. But we need to get a loss so I can show you again how it works. Because again, when you get a loss, you're in the recovery phase. In the recovery phase, you're going up 1 unit after every win and after every loss. You're looking for 4 wins in a row. And then you're going to minus 6 units. You're going to go back 6 units. And if that brings you back to the base, then you're back at the base. If it doesn't bring you back to the base, then you're still in the recovery phase where you're still going up 1 unit, win or loss, looking for the 4 in the row. Okay. So we've had a lot of wins in a row right now. All right. That's another win. 14 units. There's no way in hell I would be playing beyond this for this session. Okay, because you know what's coming, right? You know what's coming. The zeros are coming or something bad's coming. And if you don't believe me, you haven't played roulette. This is a big coverage system, 15 units. Okay? You're getting 6 times 5. You're getting 30 numbers covered with this system. There's 38 numbers in total. So this is a big number coverage. And the difference in what interested me is, usually on these big coverage systems, they get into real trouble real quickly. He did get in a little trouble. I don't want you to think he didn't. But the bankroll was never at issue. But it was not comfortable, that's for sure. But I had a feeling that it wasn't going to play that way normally. Okay, I think that's a win also, I think. Nope, that's a loss. Okay, good. All right, so now we're in the recovery phase, right? We're in the recovery phase. And in the recovery phase, we're going to add the unit, right, to each. And win or loss, we're going to continue to add the unit. And our goal is to make 4 wins in a row. 4 wins in a row. Okay, that's win number 1. We're going to add the unit. We're not doubling, we're adding a unit. So let's see how this one plays out. If it's a horrible scenario like he saw, where you really had to work through the damage, or is it a little bit smoother like I thought it should be? Let's see. So we had 1 win, I think, so far. You got to keep track of that. I think that was 1 win. That's 2 wins. Okay. And we're going to be going, I think, for our 3rd win. Unless I made a mistake, which I don't think I did, but you know me when it comes to these videos and talking at the same time. All right, so we're going for 3 wins. Oh, there it is. Okay, so you're going to get to see how this thing plays out. So now we do a reset of our clock. We still have to go up 1 unit. Remember, we're going up a unit with a win or a loss. So we're now at $5 each, and we're doing a reset. We need 4 wins. Okay, that's win number 1. All right. Rebet. Put our dollar or our 1 unit. Okay, we're at, I think, $6. Yep, $6 on each. And we have 1 win. 2 wins, I think. All right. I think that was 2 wins. I hope I didn't screw that up, guys. I hope that is 2 wins. If not, if you catch me, that's fine. Okay, so we're at 2 wins. We're at 3 wins. Okay. So we need 1 more win, but then we're going to have to talk about what we do. All right, we need a win here. And we got it. All right. So, okay. So here's what we want to do. All right. So basically, we have to go down 6 units. Right? So how many? Oh, I hate this thing. It doesn't show you. I think we're at 8. Right? 8 times 5. So let's just make sure. Let's make sure. So it's 8 times 5 is 40. Yep. So so now what we want to do is we want to drop 6. So we're going to end up with $2 on each of these now, because we go down 6 units from where we made the 4, in a row. So we're going to go down to 2. Okay. So let's go down to 2 units. And we're still in the recovery phase. So we're still going to be going up win or loss by 2 units until we get our 4 in a row. Okay, I'm doing this real slow because this is the first time I'm trying this. And I want to make sure that I try not to, oh, look what I just did. That's not good. It's supposed to be over here. Okay, right there, yeah. Okay. All right, so there we go. We're reset at 2 units each. We're still in the recovery phase, and we're looking for 4 wins in a row. Okay, that's one of them. Okay. Rebet. Add the 1. Because we're still adding 1 on a win or a loss. Okay. And that we have 1 win right now. We have 2 wins right now, I think. Oh no, I forgot. It's over here. So now it gets a little bit wonky. So we have to, win or loss, we have to put another one up. But again, we have to reset our count to 4 wins in a row. So you can see how this is a super slow progression, but I can understand where every once in a while you're going to get into that issue. That's why I'm saying tight profit targets. So we're resetting our counter. Oh, that's another loss. It's going to be reset again. Interesting. Okay, good. We're getting pushed. That's the idea, right? That's the general idea here, is to learn how this thing plays. We had it real easy, and I was right we would have been able to get away with, I think it was about 15 units before we got into trouble. So here we go. It's a reset again where we're waiting for 4 wins. There's win number 1. Okay. So now we're back up to $6 on each because we're adding the unit. And our counter is at 1 win. We need 3 more. Here we go. That's a win. That's win number 2. All right, win number 2. We need 2 more wins and we'll be back at a reset. Back to our regular base play. Okay, here we go. I don't know. I think that's a win. Yeah. Win number 3. Okay. And we need 1 more win. And I think we're out of the recovery phase. Oh, actually, I don't know. We still may be in the recovery phase. Because once again, look where we're at 40. So we're not going to be out of the recovery phase with a win. We would be dropping down again to the 2 units. We'd still be in a recovery phase. There it is. Okay. We got it. So once again, we were again at that 40 bet level, right? So if you drop down 6 levels, you're going to be at the $2 level again. So we're going to clear these. So we're still in the recovery phase. Okay. So you can see how this slow progression sometimes is going to force you into a long recovery phase, but you're not getting into trouble. I'm not so sure that's a bad thing. These high coverage systems usually are a disaster, at least most of them. So I'm not sure that there's not something here to evaluate further. All right, so we're still in the recovery phase because we're not back to the base. So we still have to add the 1 on the win or the loss, and we're still looking for 4 in a row. Let's see if we can finally get out of the recovery phase. Okay, that's win number 1. All right. Let's add the 1. Again, please remember that you could have easily stopped ages ago with about 15 units. So win number 1 has happened. Win number 2 has happened. All right, so we're going for win number 3. I think that's a win. Yep. So this is the big one right now. We need win number 4 here. And because we only have $5 on each, if we win this one, it finally takes us out of the recovery phase and we go back to the single units. So let's see if we can get a win here. And we do. So it took a while, but so what? I'm not sure there's anything. Yes, it's slow. But is that a problem? I don't think so. So we had 5 units on each. Remember, we go back 6, which means that we're back at the base. And look where we're at, guys, after all that recovery. We're up 28 units. So if you were playing $5 units, $4 units, $8, yeah, I have to have the bankroll for that. But I think there's something here. When I watched it on Roulette Master, I thought there was something interesting here. Now, can you get caught like he did, where you were not finishing the 4 in a row and you continue to have to restart? Yeah, I think that can happen. But with any system like this, I think the key is a slow recovery and real profit targets. If you were playing with $5 units and you were up 10 units, and you were able to do this 2 to 3 times a day, do you really believe that there's something wrong with that if you got caught once every 3 or 4 shots where you had to work your way through, which we just did? I'm not sure that's the worst thing in the world. I don't know. Need to do a lot more testing on this, but this is an interesting idea. So I would suggest members and people watching, this is something that maybe take an interest in and see how much damage it can do if you have small profit targets. Okay, you got to have the bankroll. You got to have patience with this. But if you're playing this super tight, I think this may be possibly a system to not throw away. It may be something to analyze a little further. All right, with that being said, I think you guys get the idea. Absolutely like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be testing lots more public stuff. And of course, if you are not a member of CruzCasinoMafia.com's private membership, you absolutely should be joining. In the last month, we debuted only to members the Even Money Cycler, which you can use for any even money bets with roulette, baccarat, even some things with craps. We've got over 650 private systems that we test and we show you guys. There will be something in that 650 that matches your risk to reward ratio that you want to play. All right, with that being said, check out CruzCasinoMafia.com. Join today, get all 650 systems available to you. You only need a few of them to be able to make an income stream, second income, quit your job, whatever your goal is. Play better in Vegas or your local casino, play on your next cruise, whatever your goal or objective is. Everybody's different, but you will find something that interests you, that you will make money with, if you know how to simulate, practice, and play it properly with the right money management. We'll see you on the inside at CruzCasinoMafia.com. Take it easy. Practice, practice, practice.